Hi, welcome. So today's pill card. Why do I keep saying pill card for the rune readings? This is a rune reading. I did this in the last rune reading. So today's reading is going to be another subconscious thing in here. I don't really know what other topics I should make in this with the runes, so I'm kind of like sticking with this kind of topic for now. Although, surprisingly, I really enjoyed this kind of topic more than the love readings. I mean, I do enjoy the love readings as well because I get to see like different kinds of scenarios. Love readings are very overrated nowadays. It's very common. And the more I do love readings, the more I feel like I'm not making any sense in this channel. I feel like I'm not having any purpose. Of course, I do have a purpose of, giving some sort of clarity with the love readings, but at the same time, how is it making sense? If that makes sense. I keep on asking myself, like, does love readings really make any sense? Does it really help people? Because basically, one person would view tons of readings a day, and at the end of the day, they still don't know what's the truth. And it makes someone more confused than they were. And I'm gonna admit, even though I'm a tarot card reader, tarot readings doesn't really help at all. Like, life could be much more easier without tarot card readings, right? Like, even if you admit this to yourself or not, when you were still not aware of tarot readings, your love life has been much more simple. And now tarot readings makes it more complicated because it gives a sense of false hope to each viewers. And most viewers use tarot readings or any sort of divination as an eternal salvation for their problems. So I'm kind of like thinking of a way right now of how to be more helpful as a tarot reader. Although I don't really know what kind of topics I should make aside from love readings. But what I'm sure of is that I want to do tarot readings, or even if it's not tarot readings, even if it's not rune readings, I want to talk about something that makes people triggered. Basically, I want to trigger people in the most annoying way as possible and see their shadow aspect and then innovate that as their strength. But I don't know, how can I execute that in my readings? I don't know, whatever. Obviously, I'm not really into readings where it's more focusing about how great you are as a person, like, how beautiful you are, how attractive you are. I realize that I'm not really into those readings. I hate it. It feeds the ego. Like, I'm not the kind of person like, oh, you're such a beautiful soul, you are meant to be this great big person. Seriously, I don't give a shit about those things. I want readings that will make people really, really annoyed at first, and then they're gonna be like, oh shit, this is like an inspiration for me to move forward in my life. I'm also not really into spiritual readings, like who is your soulmate, who is your twin flame, or I did who is your soulmate pick card reading, but I'm just not really into those bullshits. Like, when you enter the spirit card community, most people are now focused on the 5D because the 5D makes much more sense than the 3D. That's why most people watch a lot of tarot readings and, believe in soulmates, twin flames, karmics, whatever. Like, you and your person have already separated for like 10 years and you're like, oh, we're still meant to be together. Because you believe that that person has a spiritual connection with you. When the truth is, most of those terms, those labels doesn't really matter in the 3D world. It only makes you feel better because it gives you a sense of assurance that you do have a connection with that person. That's just you having your rose-colored glasses on. That's just you fantasizing about the 5D. Like, even though it is being said that spirituality can liberate you as a person, it also makes you a complete idiot. But anyway, I don't even know what am I talking about anymore. I'm so sorry. This is the reason why I don't really like talking too much, because I tend to say things from different angles, and I just tend to get lost in my own thoughts, and people would be like, what are you saying? I should stop saying bullshit now. Let's get on to your choices. So, for group number one, so what does your subconscious mind is aware of that you're not really aware of? By the way, what is that? This is going to be like the current thing usually. So, let's get started. I don't know what's going on with my nose. Okay, so you got T-Wows. Is this upright or reverse? Okay, it's in reverse. Isa, yeah, Isa. Logus. This is very clear to me. By the way, this is not something super. I forgot to tell that in the introduction because I keep on saying bullshit. But this reading is not just related to love. This could be anything in your life, and it's, it's your. It depends on you on how you will relate your situation to what I'm gonna be talking about in this reading. So yeah. You also got, I'm most probably sure, okay, is this upright or reverse? I feel like it's in reverse. You got Berkana in reverse, and Aunsus in reverse, and Gabo upright. So this is pretty clear to me. Let me just figure this out. Okay, so I feel like I don't want to be specific, like I said, but I feel like this is okay. For some of you, I feel like for the majority of you, I'm definitely sure that this is more regarding a romantic connection or a relationship. For some of you, maybe it's not, maybe it's something else, but it's almost like you're very doubtful of something right now. Yeah, you're not willing to trust either a person or a situation. And I feel like your subconscious mind is telling you that if this is a romantic connection or relationship, it is safe for you to love this person. If this is not something romantic at all, it's just, maybe it's safe to go in that direction. It's safe to take action towards something, whatever that may be that you're not really sure about. Because somehow you might be feeling like there are red flags in this situation. And I feel like your subconscious mind is telling you that you're clearly not seeing things for what it is. You're overthinking too much because you got Aunsus in here, and I always relate Aunsus to the Hermit. And it's almost like you try to be rational. Yeah, when I said rational, you got T-Wows in here, which is rationality. You try to be rational about something. You try to be see things from different angles in here. In your mind, to yourself, you think that you're just trying to be practical or trying to be logical about this, trying to be intelligent enough or smart enough to deal with the situation. But what you're not aware of is that it's just making things complicated. I feel like you do have some sort of attachment to the situation, whatever it may be. But at the same time, you are not letting it unfold. If this is a person, I do see you having a lot of feelings for this person, but at the same time, there is a lot of stubbornness from your part. You're like, no, I'm not gonna let this shit enter in my life. I'm not gonna let this person, ruin everything for me, if that makes sense, because you're pretty much a very stable person. I'm kind of like seeing that you value, you're a very fixed person and you value stability a lot. And I feel like you hate, it's almost like you're one of those people who would only jump to a situation if you are really, really, really 101% sure that something is safe. You're not the kind of person who would just spontaneously take a risk on something or someone just because you feel like you're very attached to it or it makes you feel good emotionally. And also, if this is a connection, if you're doubting if the other person has feelings for you, the feelings are mutual. I also feel like your subconscious mind is telling you that there is a pathway for you right now that is, how should I put it? It's almost like there's an opportunity in front of you, but you're not letting yourself explore it. It's almost like there's an opportunity awaiting for you on the horizon, but at the same time, it's like it's at a standstill, or it's at a standstill right now because you want to make, for some of you, you want to make the right choice, and somehow, yeah, I don't know why I'm getting like you're somehow restricting yourself from this situation. And your subconscious mind is telling you that you have a go signal. And somehow I'm kind of like, your subconscious mind is kind of like asking you, like, don't you want this new beginning for yourself? I'm also getting like, I feel like this is for the majority of you. You are giving to the situation, whether this is a romantic kind of thing in here or something else in your life. You're somehow investing in it, but it could be small or it could be cautious. You're not letting yourself loosen up. And I feel like your subconscious mind is wanting you to just go with the flow in here. Just let yourself act naturally in the situation, or just let your feelings lead you in this situation. And I know it's pretty hard to, especially if you are a logical person and you're kind of like being guided to follow what your heart is telling you. I know that's pretty difficult because, people tend to make a lot of mistakes by following their heart. But with this situation, this particular situation that you're dealing with right now, you need to make a decision based from the heart, whether it's a romantic situation or not. You cannot use your logical mind in this one. I feel like your subconscious mind is also telling you that if you pursue this situation, there's something, I don't want to say promising, I don't want to say beautiful, but somehow there's something about, if you take this situation, the outcome, if you have a negative perspective about this, your subconscious mind is assuring you that there will be a positive outcome in this or from this. And I heard you just got to believe. I feel like whatever this is something very important to you. You see this in, whether it's a person or something else, you see it in a very high regard. You value it, but at the same time, your subconscious mind is encouraging you to take action. I'm not forcing you to do this. This is just your subconscious mind, because usually our subconscious mind knows what's right for us versus our conscious mind. So your subconscious mind is kind of like encouraging you to go for it, to take an action towards it. Somehow, this is for a small amount of you. If you feel like it's not the right time just yet, or if you feel like there is a blockage, your subconscious mind is telling you that this is the right moment to do that. And I also feel like there could be times that you can be quite indecisive about this. Like, one day you're gonna be like, yeah, I'm gonna go for it, I want this. but the next day you're gonna be like, I'm gonna guard myself, I'm not gonna risk anything from in this situation. And I feel like if you're just waiting, for some of you, if you are waiting for some sort of progress to happen in this situation, you're not going to see any kind of fruition from this unless you either reciprocate, or you completely invest, or you take an action. There's something about coming out of hermit mode in here, coming out of your comfort zone. You know, it's almost like this rune in here is always like the emperor to me. So it's almost like your subconscious mind prefers you to be in your emperor, whether you are a male or a female, to be in your emperor energy rather than in your hermit energy. So for some of you, if you think that this opportunity is not open for you or is not available to you, it is. It's just the fact that it is not coming because there's something about your energy that's pretty guarded, and when you have a very guarded energy, you tend to kind of like push those positive energies away. So that's what I'm getting in here. It's almost like it's a matter of you just opening up. So I think that's all for this reading. It's a very short reading. Hopefully somehow that resonated, and that will be all. So for those who chose group 2, so what does your subconscious mind what is your subconscious mind aware of that you are not currently aware of right now? And usually these are kind of like current energies, so it's like what your subconscious mind is currently aware of. Because I don't want to be, I want to be more updated, if that makes sense, because I don't want to keep on repeating myself for each same topic that I'm going to be uploading in the future. So yeah, so let's get started. Okay, so you got this one appeared in group number 1 as well, but this is Isa in reverse, Fehu, Logus in reverse. Okay, what is this about? Ingwaus, Naudis, and Turisaus. Okay. Let me just figure this out. Why do I feel like this is kind of like similar to pile or to group number 1? But I feel like this is not really, I mean, by the way, this is not something just related about love. This could be, this could be anything in your life. So just try to apply it to your situation. I should make this reading really quick. It's gonna rain really hard. I'm just gonna clarify Isa in here and Ingwaus. Okay, you got K nows. This is upright. Okay, what is this all about? It's so strange. It's almost like you're trying to shut your thoughts in here. That's why I cannot read your reading. It's almost like it's either you're distracting yourself or you're just trying to take a break from overthinking. Because I'm kind of like getting that you're avoiding something in here. it's possible. Okay, this is not, this could be anything, but I feel like for the majority of you, you're kind of like trying to distance yourself from a connection or from a romantic relationship or from how you're feeling. You're trying to guard yourself in here and be like, nope, nope, just, focus on, because I'm kind of like getting that you're much more focused on either, for some of you, okay, either your family, you okay, let me just say that for some of you, it's mostly about the material world in here. Because you think that that's what mostly matters in your life right now. I'm kind of like getting two things in here because it's almost like with this row in here, you're much more focused on your career or on your studies or anything regarding that makes you very productive, that makes you very busy. And you think that this is just what matters to you right now. This is your main priority and you don't give a shit about other things in your life. Even though you do give a shit about something in here. With this row in here, I'm kind of like getting that something is haunting you. Something keeps on bothering you. Like even if you try to push it away, it's brewing. But you're standing in your ground or in your ground. You're trying to block it. You're trying to resist. If this is regarding feelings, you're trying to resist how you feel. Because all I can see right now is that you just want to get better in your either creative endeavors or finances, your career, whatever the case may be in the material world. I also feel like for some of you, you are trying to block a situation because you feel like if you let it in, it's gonna distract you. It's gonna disrupt your energy. Especially if you're very focused on the material world, and if this is something regarding love, you feel like this love situation, is not gonna help you at all in your material stuff. If that makes sense, it's a big distraction in your life. That's why you're trying to push it away. But what your subconscious mind is telling you right now is that the more you block this, the more you resist yourself from this, the more it's going to plague you. It's not going to help at all. That's why it's almost like your subconscious mind is just... I'm getting a lot of controlling energy from your side, and your subconscious mind is advising you to calm down, to just... It's similar to pile number or to group number 1, where you need to loosen up, you need to just let things happen and unfold naturally in here. You don't need to... I don't know what's going on in here. And also, your subconscious mind is telling you that whatever you do, even if you try to avoid this or forget about this, it is meant to happen. Whatever that may be. You cannot escape this. So it's kind of strange. It's almost like... I mean, your subconscious mind is telling you to not let your world revolve around this situation, whatever that you're blocking right now. But I feel like they're just advising you to simply accept things for what it is. Simply accept things for how it's happening right now. Because it is divinely orchestrated. And I don't know why I'm kind of like out of words for your group, because it's... What is this all about? It's almost like you cannot comprehend something in here. And if you feel like you're successfully removing something from your life right now, especially if this is a person, like, if you're trying to move on from a person or any situation, even if it's not love, your subconscious mind is telling you that it's so funny. I'm getting like a very playful, cheeky energy in here. It's almost like you can run away. you can escape whenever you want, but it doesn't change the fact that this situation or this person is gonna follow you around. It's almost like you're very binded to this situation, whatever it may be. You cannot easily remove this from your life because maybe it is meant to help you. Yeah, it is meant to help you grow. It is not meant to, destruct your life, because I feel like, because for some of you, you do have this perception that this situation is not good for you, but what you're not aware of is that it's kind of like, that's how you see it on the surface. It seems like it's very destructive, but it's actually meant to put you in the right path. What is this all about? This is so strange. There's something about achieving in here. I'm just gonna give an example. So for example, you are working on a project, and in order for you to accomplish that project, you need someone's help, because without the other person's help, you're not gonna accomplish that project. Do I make sense? So there's something about this situation that you're trying to block off right now that is meant to help you in your path, or in your life purpose, or in your whatever that may be. Because I don't know how you are related to the situation that you're trying to remove from your life. It's almost like this particular situation is an eye opener. It is meant to give you a lot of awareness that you haven't experienced before. I feel like for some of you, you do have the tendency to, oh my gosh, you do have the tendency to be, I'm so sorry, it's about to fucking rain. And I'm hearing a lot of thunder right now. But you may have the tendency to be quite stagnant, or maybe you like procrastinating, or maybe you're pretty hermited in here, something along those lines. And I feel like this particular situation that we're talking about is gonna help you to kind of like, this is all about your internal growth in here. And also for some of you, if you're trying to move on from something or someone, your subconscious mind is telling you that it's not the end just yet. There's something about, maybe for some of you, you think that something has already ended, but you have no idea that it's just in the beginning. Like it's just in the process of beginning right now. I'm so sorry if this is kind of vague, because I feel like there's something about this reading. I feel like there's something about your group that's kind of like pretty hard to understand. It's pretty hard to, maybe you yourself cannot really explain what's going on. I'm also sensing that you guys could be, I don't want to say that you're at a younger age, but it's more of, you're not, despite of age doesn't really matter when it comes to a person's maturity. But I feel like you're quite immature. There's something about you that's pretty feeble-minded in here. And I'm not trying to judge you or something. I'm just saying the truth. And most probably, you're gonna know if that resonates with you or not. But I'm just gonna get one more rune in here just to confirm things. Yeah, when I look at this rune and this rune, you need this. You need the situation. This is a very, if this is a person, this is a key figure in your life. They have a very important role, or even if it's a situation. Okay, so you got Urus and Barkana, which also appeared in group number 1. What's going on in here? Yeah. your subconscious mind is telling you that you're very stubborn. I feel like you are more in your masculine side right now. Even if you are a man or a woman, it doesn't really matter. You are more in your masculine energy right now. You're not letting your soft side to distract you. So yeah, so hopefully that resonated. That's pretty fucked up, but hopefully that helped. What am I saying? That resonated. So yeah. So for those who chose group number 3, so what is your subconscious mind is aware of that you are not currently aware of? So let's get on to your reading. Okay, so you got T-Wows in reverse. I don't know why I'm kind of like, I sound like I'm about to cry or something. Are you lonely? You got Raido in reverse. Now these Jerao. This one, I usually do not interpret Jerao in reverse because it's pretty hard to determine if it's in upright or in reverse. But for some reason, I'm kind of like getting that I should read this in reverse right now. So I'm gonna keep that in mind. You also got, is this upright or reverse? Reverse. So no, this is not Soilo. This is Wunjo in reverse, and Maunaus. Okay, so let me just figure this out. Oh my gosh, that makes a lot of sense. When I said that you might be lonely or something, this is for some of you, okay? You got Wunjo. Wunjo is usually about joy. And I said you're lonely. For some reason, I'm kind of like getting that there's something stagnant in your life right now. And you feel hopeless about it. It's almost like I'm getting like a weak feeling from, what is this? From group number 3. You feel like you're not your usual self. Like, I feel like this is more of emotional, mental weakness in here, if that makes sense. Like, how should I put it? For some of you, you might be feeling very stressed, or I'm not trying to diagnose some mental shits in here, or I shouldn't say mental shits. What kind of student am I? I'm studying psychology and I end up saying bullshit. But anyways, I'm not trying to diagnose anything mental in here, if that makes sense. But for some of you, you might be even undergoing some sort of depression in here. And I feel like you're having a hard time. Whatever you're dealing with right now is definitely affecting your health. I'm kind of like getting that for some of you, you might be even going through some sort of breakdowns in here, mental, emotional breakdowns. Because when I started your reading, I was like, my voice started cracking or something. By the way, this is not something specific. This doesn't have to be just about love. This could be anything in your life, and it really depends on you, on how you will apply this to your situation. But I feel like there's something about, I don't know why, but I feel like this is more in your material world, but it could be love as well. Something seems like it's not working out. And you're slowly coming into this conclusion that maybe I should just give up. Maybe all I can say is that there's a lot of hopeless energy in here. I'm not gonna say that you're trying to be pessimistic, because I feel like whatever you're dealing with right now is definitely not an illusion that you're creating by overthinking, if that makes sense. And you know what I heard when I saw these two runes in here? I heard desperation. There's something about your energy that's desperately needing for help, or that's desperately needing for answers. There's something about it's definitely affecting your mental health in here. For some of you, you might be having some sort of problems in your home life, with your family, with any of your relatives. That's for some of you. And for another part of you, this could be something related to your commitment, like romantic commitment, if that makes sense. Because this specific rune in here is always like the Hierophant to me. And Hierophant in tarot is usually about marriage. So maybe you're having, maybe for some of you, you're having some sort of divorce with a spouse in here. That's for some of you, okay? That's not going to resonate for all of you. Or if it's not like a marriage thing in here, this might just be a simple connection or relationship. There's something about conflicts, disputes, or arguments or misunderstandings going on. I really don't want to be specific, but I feel like this could be related to some sort of relationship in here. It doesn't have to be romantic, because I feel like this could also be platonic. And I don't know why I also heard peer pressure. Maybe you feel pressured in the situation. I feel like you're pretty much unhappy in the situation right now, because the way things are unfolding is not what you expect. So I feel like what your subconscious mind is wanting to tell you right now is that they want you to take care of yourself. Stop focusing on the situation. I'm not saying that you should move on from it or you should just leave it behind. I'm not getting that from the runes, but it's more of you need to focus on your mental health in here, because it is definitely affecting you big time. Your subconscious mind is telling you that your mental health is very, very important. I'm just gonna get a few more runes in here. Okay, you got Urus, which appeared in group number 1 and group number 2. I don't know why they keep on popping up, even though I do kind of like shuffle the runes. You also got Ingwos in here in reverse, and is this upright or reverse? Suilo. Wait, this is not Suilo, this is Iwaos. It does look like Suilo, but let's, oh, you also got Olgies in reverse. So let me just look at this one. I'm kind of like getting that you might be waiting for something in here, and this waiting has caused a lot of stagnation in your own life. It's almost like you're waiting for some sort of either clarity. Yeah, it's, what is this all about? There's something about, okay, so what I'm getting with the ologies in here, oh, I cannot speak, but it's almost like, again, you're waiting for some sort of clarity for some of you, but what you are not aware of, but what your subconscious mind is telling you is that you already know the answer. You're just trying to convince yourself. It's almost like you're not really listening to your intuition. You're listening to your ego. And the thing is, again, like I said, you already know the truth in here. But that's not what your ego wants, because with the Urus and Ingwos in reverse in here, I'm getting that you are having some sort of false hope or false belief regarding something that you know that might not be something for you, that you know that is not going to come back around, that you know that is not going to work out, whatever the case may be. It's like one of those situations, like for example, this is not, this is not limited for love situations, but maybe like, for example, you you really love a person, but that person is nowhere to be found. Like, you are separated from that person basically. And you keep on convincing yourself that you're gonna reconcile. And you just ended up like rejecting all possible other romantic interest out there because you just want that particular person. And that made your life very stagnant. So that's what I mean in here. I'm gonna say it. Something in the situation is not meant to be. It's an opposite to group number two, because in group number two, they're trying to move on, but it's meant for them. It is meant to happen. But with this one, you're trying to force things, but at the same time, it's not gonna work out. Like, even if it's gonna come to you, even if you're gonna have the opportunity to experience it for a while, it's not promising. It's almost like no matter how many seeds you plant in this situation, it's not gonna grow. You're not gonna gain anything from it. And what's annoying about this situation is that, you haven't seen the fruition just yet, but it's affecting your health big time. Meaning, this situation is toxic. It's not good for you. For some of you, you might be waiting for a second chance regarding the situation, whatever it may be. Although I feel like this is more something about relationships in here. That is not gonna come around. Because with this rune in here, I'm getting like it's my way or the highway. And also, you might have a very fixed belief about the situation. Like, maybe you do watch a lot of readings, or you get a lot of personal readings, and it kind of like fucked up your brain, and it made you believe that, oh, this is gonna work out, or this person's gonna come back around, and you're like, yeah, that's gonna happen. But no. And I know this particular group may sound quite insensitive, or I sound insensitive in this reading, but I feel like you need to hear that, because again, with this rune in here and this rune, I'm getting that you're very stubborn, almost to the point that you don't believe in other people's opinions about it. So basically, your subconscious mind is telling you to not force things. Take care of yourself. Do not stress yourself too much about the situation, because at the end of the day, this situation that you're dealing with doesn't really have anything substantial to offer you. And for some of you, you might be even wondering, like, why do I always feel this way? Why do I always feel unhappy about my life? Why do I feel so miserable? You're only making your life miserable because you're making yourself miserable. Or, what? Your life is miserable because you're making it miserable. Things are so obvious to you. But the problem with you is that you don't open your eyes. And you just kept on holding on to this situation, having this false hope that this is worth it. This is worth fighting for. Most of you are not really willing to move on from this situation. Even though you feel hopeless. Even though you feel like it's quite done. I feel like your subconscious mind is also telling you that you're quite overlooking something in here. You're ignoring the facts. So yeah, hopefully that resonated though. And that will be all. So for those who chose group number 4, so what is your subconscious mind? Subconscious mind is aware of that you are not aware of currently. So this is more of the current energies in here. So let's get started. I don't know why the runes keep on repeating themselves. By the way, I do shuffle the runes, if that makes sense. But let me just... Anyways, so you got Ingwaos in reverse. Otholo? Otholo? I still don't know how to pronounce this one, but it's Otholo. You also got Haugalos, Tiwaos, Olgis in reverse, and this one is kind of faded in here, but it's actually Pertro. So, what is going on with your reading? It's pretty clear to me. I'm just gonna clarify something in here because it's strange. Okay. You got Urus and Thaugaus. And I clarified it with Pertro in here, by the way. So what is this all about? Okay, so the first thing that came into my mind is that... Now I forgot. What is that? I easily get distracted when it comes to reading stuff. It's hard for me to remember things. But it's... Okay, now I remember it. Something disrupted your energy. Something triggered you. Something shocked you. Something put you off balance. Because I feel like... Yeah. I feel like you're the kind of person who always got your shit together. Or at least that's how you appear to people. You always try to make yourself balance. You may even hate change in here. There's something very rigid about you. I also feel like you can be quite reserved when it comes to your energy. You don't really share your energy to anyone out there. You're pretty picky. There's also something about you that's quite unwilling to compromise something. It's either to compromise your time for someone or for something, your energy, whatever that may be. Okay, this is for some of you. For some of you, you may have felt like you missed an opportunity in here. It's almost like there is an opportunity for a new beginning, or for maybe a job thing in here. It could be anything. But because you're so set in your own ways in here, it's almost like you wasted some sort of chance. There's something about you getting out of your control. And the thing is, I'm very confused about this Pertro and Olgis in here. Because at first, I was about to say that a secret was revealed, or you're not getting any clarity about something. But I'm not... the thing is, I feel like I shouldn't say that. I don't feel guided to say that. It's more of, you may have figured something out that made you flip upside down, if that makes sense. It threw you. What is this all about? Because with this rune in here, I'm getting that there's a very protective energy about you. And for some of you, you may be protecting something in here. Oh my gosh, what is this all about? This is so strange. Okay, this is for a small amount of you. You may be protecting something in here, but what you're not aware of is that you prevented it from coming into fruition. It's almost like you may feel like you made a mistake in here. Because for some reason, I'm kind of like getting that you may have set some sort of standard regarding something, or you set some sort of rules in here, or there's something about the situation not going in your favor. And now it threw you off balance. It kind of like caused a tower moment for you. You didn't expect this to happen. And you're like, shit, I'm just trying to protect something. But it ended up happening this way. I'm just gonna clarify the whole shit in here because this is really vague. This one popped out again. Okay, you got Wunjo, Lagoose in reverse, and Isa. I don't know if group number 1 up to group number 4 are just the same situation, because it's almost like all of the runes are similar in here. I mean, runes are only consisting of 24 runes, but I usually get 6 runes for each reading. So it's kind of stupid that I keep on getting the same and same and same rune. So what's going on in this shit in here? So basically, your subconscious mind is telling you that you're blocking your own happiness. Whenever I see this rune, it always reminds me of someone very set in their own way, someone very stubborn. I think all of the grips in here are pretty stubborn. But I feel like Logus is usually about emotions in here. It is water. So, not for all of you, but I feel like for the majority of you, you can be quite... And it's funny because I feel like most of the grips in here are related to love. I feel like you're very stubborn. I feel like you're not really listening to how you're feeling. And because of that, you're preventing your own happiness from happening. Because you're very protective in here. I don't know what you're protecting. Are you protecting yourself? Are you protecting someone else or the situation? I don't know. But whether this is something romantic or not, this situation really makes you happy. This situation makes you emotionally fulfilled. But because you can be quite controlling in here, because you don't... Okay. I feel like you're usually used to controlling things in here. You don't like everything getting out of control or not within your grasp. It's pretty uncomfortable for you. And what happened in here is that the universe created this tower moment because the way you approach the situation is not even working. I feel like the universe just wants you to be really happy in here, but you are your own blockage. No one is blocking you, only yourself. Because you're like, I should know this should be this. Just like in group number one, I'm getting a lot of, is that group number one? I'm getting a lot of resistance from your part. And I feel like this tower moment, whatever it may be that occurred in your life, is meant to put you out of your comfort zone. Because you're very comfortable with stability. And I feel like the universe just wants you to learn how to feel comfortable with stability and with instability. And what your subconscious mind is wanting you to know right now is that they want you to embrace whatever is happening. They want you to accept things for what it really is. Acceptance is very important for your reading. Also surrendering. For some of you, I don't know if I already said it, but there's something about a secret being revealed in here, or even if it's not really a secret, but maybe just a situation that came into light for you that shocked you a lot, that surprised you. And also, there's something about within you that needs to be let out. It's almost like a secret in here that needs to be revealed. And especially if this is regarding how you feel for a person, I feel like your subconscious mind is encouraging you to open up, to let the other person how you truly feel. And for some of you, if this is not something related to love, this may be just an indicator where to be more honest and be truthful of who you are as a person, despite of the possible judgments that you will get from other people or the feedback that you will be getting from what you are creating. If that makes sense, if this is something like regarding your creative endeavors or work or whatever. Ultimately, I feel like your subconscious mind is telling you that this shakeup is happening right now because they want you, the universe wants you to, they want to crack your shell. They're basically triggering you to crack your shell. You're very used to about something, whether it's your behavior, your patterns, your beliefs, your thoughts, whatever the case may be. You're very used to something, and I feel like that needs to change. But because you're very rigid, you're very stubborn, you're very, what is this? You have a very strong sense of self in here. There needs to be some sort of divine intervention or external forces to do this. So your subconscious mind is telling you that the universe is not working against you. They're working with you. They're helping you out. And right now you might feel like, oh, the universe is triggering me and all that kind of stuff is pushing me. Yeah, they are definitely pushing and triggering you in order to instigate. Is that instigate? In order to instigate a positive change. Not just with you, but also to everyone that is related to you or who is related to you. Or the situations related to you as well. So I hope that made sense. All of the groups are pretty rigid in some ways. They're pretty hard to explain. I think group number 1 is the easiest one. But hopefully this resonated, and that'll be all.